I was able to enjoy, live life, be happy, as well as going into the gym and not having this pressure of competitiveness inside the gym.
This is like every guy before he competes. Like, you know, I like lifting. It makes me confident. Then the muscle dysmorphia kicked in. I got on stage. You know, it's like every guy has to like get it out that like at one point I liked going to the gym. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Here's some ASMR sip of some Perrier. Welcome to another BS Cloud Grab. Today we got Anthony Mantello, and he is apparently quitting bodybuilding. So if you guys don't know Anthony Mantello, I highly suggest you check out his channel. Very straightforward, transparent dude, and fully immersed in the a little bit younger generation than me bodybuilding world. Amassed a giant following and has been documenting all his competitions and basically the fitness lifestyle. He's had sponsorships by multiple big companies, and to me, I just saw him as like a legacy fitness creator, aka like it's very hard to build up a fitness following, and you know, once you got it, you kind of ride it out for, I'd say, a pretty long time. And the way Anthony's content was, it was very high quality. You know, he's got the glorious butt chin, Andrew, so we can throw up the crimson chin. You know, the crimson chin always sticks in my head, so Anthony with his butt chin always has a spot in Russo's scattered brain. I did see that he is quitting bodybuilding, so I wanted to see what was up with that. To me, he's always had a lot of eyeballs on him since a very young age, and he's always been successful in the fitness industry at a very young age. You know, to relate to my distance running career, you know, I burned out quickly in distance running, where, you know, bodybuilding, I had no shot and I actually enjoyed it more. So I wonder if it's one of those situations. I don't know. This is a live reaction, and I wanted to give some Russo-tism on top of this video. It's called Why I'm Quitting Professional Bodybuilding, and let's get started.
Strength, trust my strength, limited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So his physique looks crazy. Very young age, very complete physique. And yeah, just looking at his physique right off the bat, I could say he could have a very long, professional, stable, you know, brand platform image in bodybuilding, as long as this guy wants, based on me looking at him for, you know, a couple seconds.
But it's this piece of actually being content with not being like the most extreme, outrageous looking bodybuilder there is. I feel really, really good. Breakfast looks way more normal than it used to. You have coffee, you have eggs on avocado toast, and then you guys know me, I'll have like a protein shake after I finish this. And good news is I'm working with Kyle again. I told him my plans and what I plan to do for bodybuilding, just not competitively, and he loved it. And it feels good, you know, just having a coach, again, to kind of monitor you, have a second pair of eyes you can run things by, versus doing things yourself. You know, I kind of thought, I knew it all, kind of being a little bit like, oh, I've done this for so long, let me just take my own approach. And honestly, my own approach sucked. So don't have an ego, don't ever have an ego, guys. So let's get into today's topic of the video. Why did I quit competitive bodybuilding? As I just achieved my goals and dream of becoming a pro. I was able to self-reflect and kind of understand why I made this decision. I simply realized I was bodybuilding no longer for myself, but just for the sport and the judges. So when I first got into the gym, I got in at 14. I liked the aesthetic look. I wanted to be, you know, handsome, young. Before I was a virgin, I wanted to get the girls with my muscles, and that's what I was training for, was aesthetics, and I loved it. I was able to have the breath of fresh air of not being consumed by food so much. Wasn't on PEDs at the time, but I was able to enjoy, live life, be happy, as well as going into the gym and not having this pressure of competitiveness inside the gym.
Andrew, this is like every guy before he competes. Like, you know, I like lifting. It makes me confident. Then the muscle dysmorphia kicked in. I got on stage. You know, it's like every guy has to like get it out that like at one point I liked going to the gym. Like, it's so funny.
So I loved it. And I think my favorite year I ever was lifting was when I was like 16 and 17. I quit soccer and I just knew I wanted to gain muscle. I wanted to be shredded all the time. I wanted to have abs, wanted to look good. And it was my favorite time of bodybuilding because I was having so much fun. And then at 17, I decided to do a show because it was on my mind. I thought I had to look for it. And I did. I did a show and I won. I won the overall at 17, which was amazing. It was a great feeling. But then this is, I guess, kind of where I want to say the problem occurred. I was told by the head judge and the judges that you have the look. You have what it takes to be a pro bodybuilder. So when I heard that,
you got the look. If you continue down this gear abusing road, there's going to be reward, buddy. I know you're 17, but it's time to go to the big guy in the gym and get the gear.
I ran with it. I was like, wow, like that is awesome. For this organization, they told me I have it. So I chased my dreams and I trained, since that moment to become a pro. And then after I became a pro, I was like, what's next? I'm kind of like, my mind is focused on this division of, the IFBB. And I'm now.
This is my opinion. He's very young and successful. He was told by the judges, you got it. We'll have Andrew throw up a little excerpt of Colin. Colin has been gassed up by the judges. He got it too. he's not a hard worker like Mantello, but the judges do select who they think should actually go through the competitive ranks. Anthony got picked. He ran with the fire. He ran with the torch. He got all the reward, and now he's what I call a very young pro, meaning he's in this weird spot where his body, he's still young. He's still very young. He's still very successful. He got to the pro card quickly, and in the pro ranks, it just becomes different. And I see him at a crossroads. That's my read.
Now, like in classic, so my weight cap, I'm in classic. Genetically, I have the look where I look pretty on stage, but genetically, I'm not able to hold the muscle that they're looking for. I was like, dude, I was a soccer player growing up.
See, I kind of disagree with Anthony. I think he could hold the muscle. I think, I'm the self-proclaimed goat of bloat, and not everyone wants to be the bloat lord, but he might be a little bloated up for a little bit, but he could have the muscle. 100% with what I've seen from him already on the internet, he could have the muscle. He has the work ethic drive, but we'll see when he gets into why he don't want to be the bloat lord.
No way Anthony should be 240 pounds at 22 years old. Now you can just say, okay, we'll take it slower, which yes, I am going to do that. I am deterring paths and not going to be gunning for the Olympia as of any time soon. I still will be bodybuilding at just a much lesser degree. I won't be pushing crazy PED cycles. I won't be pushing crazy amounts of food. I'm sure I'll be gaining maybe 2-3 pounds of muscle a year, which is amazing. But I want to be 200 something pounds, maybe 205, 210. I don't want to be pushing crazy bulks. For some, maybe down the line when I'm older, when I'm maybe closer to 30, I have the spark to compete again. I just didn't like what it was doing to my life.
This is a great read. He's very intelligent. He has very good people around him. Like, he wants to preserve his fire for 30 when his body matures. Very smart. He doesn't want to be the bloat lord, the go to bloat. Personally, there's no avoiding that. The way he's set up, in my opinion, is that he'd have to do a couple hard bulks, probably do some risky blast, like 2 or 3 only, he'd be there, and he'd come back down. And he'd have that pro look he wants. I completely get why he doesn't want to do that. You have seen me bulk and bulk and bulk. Obviously, I'm fat now, but when I was his age, I would bulk and bulk and bulk and bulk and bulk. I'd never cut because that stage weight is so vicious. He's now at the point where, hey, I got the pro card. All right, what are all these guys? Oh, they're that weight in their off season, and then he starts trying to do it. It's uncomfortable. The reason why certain bodybuilders are actually elite is that they're able to be uncomfortable at those sizes for extended periods of time, and they do not care. He cares about his health, how he feels each day, not being with a sleep apnea machine, not feeling like a slug around everyone. And that's fine. I just think the realism in this is that he actually will be able to continue to progress his career if he wants to.
I didn't like how I was looking. I didn't like breathing heavy, having heart palpitation. I didn't like any of this. And I just kind of thought, I was like, is this worth it? I really thought, like, is it worth it? I had a talk with my girlfriend. I was like, I love life. I love life with you. I love everything life has to offer. I love my cats. And I'm doing this all for muscles, just for my own ego. Like, is that really it? And then I kind of thought about how bodybuilding, the current state of, the organization, how it rewards you. We know the prize money has been an issue for a while. They are raising it as the years go on. But most bodybuilders don't do it for the money. They do it for themselves. They do it for the pride of getting the place that they get. And then I kind of thought about it to an even deeper level. It's very hard. You have to be one in over 1 million to carry a legacy after your bodybuilding career.
Anthony, if you're watching this, you're that one guy. I ain't talking shit on you being based about this, but you're the one guy that got the following. You got a main girl, very impressed. You younger guys don't seem to like main girls. And as a G, I don't understand. And the main girl seems to be holding it down as far as the mind state with Ant. Ant all seems to be working out, but you are that guy. You got the following, you got the eyeballs, you got the nod by the judges, and you are progressing at a rapid hyperspace type pace. And it's one of those things where you have gone a lot quickly and you're at the crossroads where it's danger for you to put the size on. Enhanced bodybuilding is about pushing a limit. There is no rules, and the drug abuse gets rampant once you get to the IFBB pro level because everyone's pushing the limit. You have the aesthetics on your side. You don't have the mass on your side. and you have to play those cards. I do think, you know, when you say, oh, well, you know, I'm like, you are a idol to all these individuals that want to see you progress. And I'm not saying you have to progress in competitive bodybuilding. I'm saying if you do steer from this path, they're going to want to see some sort of progression, overcoming something. You can't just like take a back burner seat till 30. But I totally get why you don't want to become the bloat lord. People make fun of it. People don't like your face. I had a bloated face pretty much all my 20s because I just wanted to be the big bull. That's all I cared about. And I was the little guy, right? I was the long distance runner. You're a soccer player. I get where you're coming from. But I think if you switched into power building, it may be a more fun time than strict bodybuilding, which you are hyper accurate at following to a T based on where you're at in your career already.
We see a few, right? Steve just retired, Steve will carry a legacy, Jay Cutler, Ronnie. But even like, it just depends like how you kind of market yourself. To me, I'm just like, okay, the legacy being built, it's very rare to have that. Crazy bodybuilders that win Olympia, if they don't have the sponsorships with the social media, you're not making money in the sport. I compared bodybuilding to UFC, and like these fighters, I get it, UFC is bigger, they can pay these fighters more, but these fighters who are fighting in the ring are getting compensated pretty much well for their fight. Bodybuilders who diet down for these crazy amounts of times or a whole season, you know, take these cycles and are unhealthy, they don't get compensated that much. I just kind of realized all that, and I was like, you know what? It's just not worth it for me.
I agree with Ant. There needs to be more money. He's sitting there pretty as an influencer type character, same way my brand was built by the research chem education. When we both look at the hyper nuanced competitors that only focus on competing, there's no money. No money. None. It doesn't make no sense. And I like him speaking up about that because his generation should be ironing out bodybuilding for what it is.
I would love to have just a healthy year-round, good-looking physique that's lean. I have more than enough muscle on me already. I'm still 215 pounds at 22. It's a big dude that's lean, you know? That's the route I want to go on. I kind of want to be like aesthetic Anthony again. Yeah, that was my ultimatum. Is that a word, Ali? Is that a correct usage of the word? That was the correct usage of the word. So yes, better bodybuilding's on the hold for now. You know, if you're also you were in my position where you've competed and you've done well, and you just keep going for more and more and more and more, but like you want more out of life, maybe self-reflect too, because it's definitely a hard pill to swallow when like it's been consuming your life for years and now you're changing paths. It's just so interesting because you may feel lost for a bit, but finding peace in it, honestly, kind of calms you down. I feel bodybuilders get caught in this trap. You get rewarded from a lot of compliments from friends, family, or people online, right? You work so hard. I couldn't do what you do. Your dedication is outstanding. Those are all great accomplishments, like great characteristic traits to have. It's like an oxymoron, I think, because they're great characteristics, but you're just doing something so unhealthy for you. You just shun that out because all you hear is you're such a hard worker, you're so disciplined, like I couldn't do what you do. But in reality, you're just honestly, you're addicted to the high steroids. There's not a direct high when you inject your PEDs or whatever it is, but those
yeah, I'm not combating him, but you directly get high doing synthetic androgens, right? He's like, there's not a direct high. Your neurochemistry goes through the roof when you inject PEDs. I'm not flaming him or nothing. I know how he's stating it, that there's not like, you're not like, I'm not smoking weed and getting high. Like when you inject Tren, you're getting high. You're getting high. So I get that. I do think that, you know, he is a bodybuilder that has achieved so much. So he's used to climbing Mountain Peak, getting to Mountain Peak, looking at higher Mountain Peak, getting there. So it'd be interesting as he takes a path where there's not a Mountain Peak he looks at and he easily gets there because he's been very high achievement guy. We'll see how he pivots.
Compliments are a part of the high. Your pump is a part of the high. I bet if you take PEDs and when you come off cycle, you say to your buddies or your own brain, you go, I cannot wait to go back on. And you're stuck in this cycle of just wanting to go back on PEDs. You feel like Superman, your muscles are beautiful. Oh my gosh. And it's a trap. As of now, I'm escaping that trap and enjoying the peace of not being in it. I thought I'd share it with you guys as I've been AFK for a while. And I'm excited to now have this like energy of, like not just only energy, like spiritual energy, but more of energy to do random fucking life things because it's crazy how I felt just pushing the food or even when I was cutting, right? When I was like shredded, you just don't have the energy to want to do anything. But there was always this weird, nice balance when you're in prep, maybe at like 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out, you're eating just enough food, you're a little bit hungry, but you're lean and you feel good and you're motivated. That's where I want to be in life. And it's crazy that I just decided not to live at that moment of that happiness of like the lean, eating just enough, but a little amount of food. And I would choose not to live in that part of life because I would go to the extreme of bulking, I'd put on more size, or the extreme of cutting because I'd get ready for a show. And I felt like once.
See, I feel like as you grow older, if you're watching this, Ant, you'll start to enjoy, you know, having a bit of pain to overcome. You know, maybe you need some happiness, maybe you need some, you know, stimulation path, and that will fulfill you in your younger 20s. I do think as you age, you will go back to wanting a little bit of pain to overcome, and that pain is the realest spiritual feeling you can feel.
once every 2 years. So that's where I'm at. I hope it made sense, maybe clear some things up, or maybe help some of you guys that kind of maybe have thought about this too. Should we get some girlfriend thoughts on this?
Yeah, my thoughts on it.
So to show you what I've been up to lately,
And I definitely saw like over time how much it was just deteriorating his personality, getting him in his head, not just like the drug.
I saw how the gym cells set in. He became this guy I wanted to date, to a robot that injected shit in his ass and ate all day. Like immediately just douses him.
It's just like everything. Like I just saw how it was impacting him. I mean, I've been with him for over 3 years now, so I have a very good understanding of who Anthony is. He was just like washing himself away, not working hard. Like I had mentioned, I'm a hardworking person, so I value people that work hard. And he would only work hard in bodybuilding. And to me as a girlfriend, that's like frustrating in a way. I'm like, why don't you work hard on other things? Even if it's just like an extra hobby, like, I don't know, do something else, you know? So
Yeah, I do agree with her. Like the bodybuilding laser effect, especially since he's a winner, right? We're looking at a winner. So that's the element of tunnel vision. Any single high output entrepreneur, athlete, you're gonna start to laser. When Carolyn and I talk, you know, she has her allotted time at night to talk to me. And if I get a business phone call, she's waiting all day to talk to me. And Russo will be that asshole and pick up the business call. And Andrew knows I like to stay locked or I'm out of lock. I'm either on or I'm off. And that's how certain entrepreneurs are. And that's especially how bodybuilding gets, because you are hyper nuanced tracking everything. And it's a game of how disciplined, dedicated can I be to the other guy that might be bigger than Ant. Ant wants to outcondition him. And she's observing a not, 50-50 boyfriend girlfriend split. And with entrepreneurship in general, you have to get your girl to accept that during Anthony's younger years, maybe as he ages, right, the 50-50 split will happen, but sometimes there needs to be a 25-75 split on the relationship. And it's not 50-50, especially if the king is at the throne and his fucking kingdom is being put on display and he has to really deliver. So I kind of like would battle against her in that sense of like, was he really washing away, or was he actually really pushing a limit and he got the achievement of pushing a limit and maybe he didn't recalibrate with her after because he's young? I do think over time he will recalibrate when he's after, but there are times when a man has to lock the fuck in and your girl, your main knows, hey, I'm on the back burner a little bit. He's pushing the limit and I'm here to help him overcome that limit. I'm not over there being Mr. Time Collector on how much time is taken away from me. You know, Carol and I used to battle a lot when I would just work on my phone all the time. I'd be in the gym 2-3 hours, especially to get my size on. And it became, to a point where she's tracking, how much time is being retracted out of the relationship. And sometimes you gotta sit down with your main and be like, look, I'm this percentage male. If I have to continue evolution, I'm already at this crazy mountain peak, and I'm sorry, it's gonna get rough. We gotta work something out with the compromise. I'm not like ripping apart the relationship. I just see this with every high output male, that when you retract and you go we'll throw the Call of Duty up meme. I'm going ghost, right? I'm going ghost. When you go ghost on your own entrepreneurial activity, the main got to ride or die for you. And I'm saying she is a main, she is riding or dying, but she's pointing out the no bullshit, right? No bullshit is Anthony will probably be a very successful businessman when he's 35, and he's got to learn to juggle these relationships now, and or be able to stretch a relationship and push the time slot to his advantage with her understanding.
Started pushing, and when he hit 240, I was very proud of him, but I saw that he wasn't happy with himself and just not liking how he looked first thing in the morning. I mean, not many people do, but like it was kind of an extreme. And then when he decided that he was done, that's when he like really started to take care of himself, He does skincare every day now. He wakes up, he has a whole routine, he does his hair every single day. He gets himself actually ready for the day versus getting up.
Andrew, do you ever think I'll get to a point of looks maxing? I do have a looks maxer. Shout out Jeff Mack. Andrew, I might have him on camera. I comb my hair once when I wake up. It seems like Anthony, he was aesthetic for so long. You go on the internet, oh, you're so aesthetic, you look so big on the internet. And all his coaches are like, bro, you're too small, you need more stage weight. He looks bloated when he wakes up. He doesn't like the essence that comes off him when he looks in the mirror. That rubs into his relationship. His girl is picking up on that, hyper correcting his persona along the way. and he went into looks maxing to try and make himself feel better. To me, as a male, it's about what you do in life, your output, your tenacity, your spirit. So if you maintain your vicious spirit, even when you're bloated or you're like me and you look crazy, there were individuals still pulling at me even during those times that you think would not be attracted to me, but they're attracted to my ability to maintain drive and tenacity and not be bothered the way I look in the mirror. Even though I'm transmutating it, I'm not covering and looks maxing. I'm not saying like Russo's better than Anthony any sort of way. I'm just saying this is really going to impact him when he's 30 plus, when he's a multi-millionaire and he has all these business adventures that he's going down at the same time. He'll learn how to lock that emotion in over time. It's cool that she's already grooming and fixing it and or pointing it out on camera. This is a very based relationship where she's not glazing him at all. And that's what I like to see.
Swallowing a ginormous meal and going to rot on the couch for hours on end until his next meal, and then he goes and trains, and then he gets home from training, and then he eats another giant meal, and then he rots on the couch for literally the rest of the day. Like, that's a horrible routine to have as a human being, and I'm happy to finally see that he's in a position with himself where he can actually like pour more energy into himself and his own well-being.
Yeah, I won't even say she's cooking him. Andrew has seen me get cooked in my my ordeals. I think she's being very based. I think Anthony, just wanted to get the bulk done. There's no fun around bulking. Like, people's like, do you like bulking or cutting? I'm like, man, get the bulking. The first thing I ask is, where do you see your end physique? What weight? Okay. Oh, you want to be 220 lean at 6'2"? All right. Why don't you go up to like 260 and sit up there bloated, build up enough compound movement volume, and then come back down? Yeah. You got to eat all the way up. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it'd probably be a multi-year bulk, but you get it over with so you wouldn't have to do it later in life. She's witnessing him attempting that. There's no fun around it. I feel horrible bulking all day, but that's one of the things of bodybuilding, right? If you're a professional race car driver and you are a young race car driver and you are in that world, you'll be karting very young, and karting is whack. Karting isn't like going on track. Karting and doing your time and watching your time get slower each karting session as you're getting yelled at. If you want to go to my life of distance running, I had all my times tracked all the time. I knew if I was getting slower or faster, I had a long distance running coach. He'd look at my time, it was quick, it wasn't getting quicker. With his bodybuilding, he's either getting bulked up or he's not. And that takes a toll when you're fighting like that.
Versus considering his well-being, how he's doing in bodybuilding.
Fellas, if I could say one thing, is to get yourself a supportive queen like this one over here. She's wonderful. She was there with me when I was a lazy.
I agree. Fuck princesses. Let's bring back queens. Andrew, when the queen become evil? Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. Suck my dick, Disney.
I'm rotting. They're with me now. A lot of bodybuilders will neglect and not realize they are hotheads. I was one of them. I'd be like, oh, I'm the same when I'm on cycle, off cycle. I don't have an attitude, or I'm not aggressive. And I was never aggressive, or I'd never put my hands on anything like that, or like show signs of like.
He's not an aggressive person.
No. But like, he may be snappier and a little more rude and blunt. And when we prepped, she definitely took a bit of the blunt force.
You guys saw it. I know Grant like kept in some parts on purpose so you could reflect on it.
Damn.
In the past. I mean, not for nothing. Like, I had people be like, oh, wasn't he really rude to you on prep? And I was like, yeah.
So.
Wow, Andrew, this is like the only relationship I'm impressed with by these social media people. Fat Russo over here is actually like, well, this is a dynamic. Nerd Russo can get to this.
Yes, it happens. You just gotta take accountability for it. I was never able to fully embrace her hard work whenever we prepped together. You worked so hard. I always knew you looked so good and how hard you worked, but like, I obviously would be so caught up in myself and trying to get myself to that finish line too that I couldn't like stop, sit back and just watch you. But this time, I get to watch you. I can help you cook your meals. I can be there holding your hand during cardio and all these good things.
Yeah, so they both compete. So it's always Colin's trying to date a competitor too, and his life's already a mess. So I'm just like, you might as well record this shit show when they start competing together. I'm waiting for one of them to fight each other. It's a lot when, these competitors date each other, because there's a lot of pressure on both, and they both kind of know what it's like to prep at the same time, so they have a level of understanding. But Russo's 2 cents, don't date someone in the fitness industry if you're in the fitness industry. I've seen it too many times.
Thanks. And I'm excited to see you rock that stage. So
I'm excited too.
That's cool. But now that we finished that complete talk, let me show you what I'm up to. If you guys follow me on Snapchat or Instagram and
all right, what's my overall thoughts? I see it as he got too much too quickly, and now he's in this spot where, people like, oh, I want to go pro instantly. And then I'll have a whole career and I'll span it out like C-Bum. You're not C-Bum. I'm not C-Bum. He's not C-Bum, right? There's one C-Bum, okay? Most of the time, if you get pro at a young age, you run into this point where he's sitting there with a pro card and they've already looked up the stage weights of the people that he has to compete against, and he has to sit there and ruin his aesthetic image, which is attached to his spirit power, to redo the amount of lean body mass on him by a significant degree, which impacts him mentally, which thank goodness he has a main right there. That main is steering his mind better than he probably can comprehend. I want to see more dudes with a main that's actually coherent and intelligent and is steering him around on camera easily. That was probably the most heartwarming thing I've seen in the fitness industry, is a main actually doing her job and holding them down. What I will say is that he will definitely go for his pro card. I think building tenacity and I think being a funny hothead might be the way Anthony wants to move his mind. And if he has a main controlling his mind, he could play around all the time. You know, Carolyn is the reason why Russo's not in prison, right? And Andrew knows that very well. You are able to move your mind and maybe have a little bit more fun than being bulk robot all day. Okay, you admitted you were bulk robot, incel, gym cell, bulk robot. I've had a lot of fun bulking over the years, and visually I look shittier and shittier to a point where people are like, he's never gonna cut, he never cuts. I just wanted to get to a weight that when I'm 28 like I am now, I'm pretty chill. When I cut down to 220, I look good enough for me, and I got that stage weight. With him being a pro, it's much more serious, and I think the faster he gets that stage weight jump over with, the better. But I do agree, you know, if he has to take a step back and realize how disgusting that lifestyle is of force feeding yourself, how disgusting it is, causing breathing issues, sleep apnea issues, adding tons of drugs, GH doing it, and existing in that uncomfortable state. When I was 260 plus, existing at that, I did not want to. I had to, because I wanted to hold this weight that I'll have at 32. When Anthony is the big business bull at 35 with all his businesses, and he did those bulks and cuts, he's gonna thank himself he didn't stay 210, because the more lean body mass he holds and the higher electrical output, the density of his body mass equals the more powerful his spirit is when he walks in the room, max aura. And I do think that him taking a little bit of break is something great, and he will come back with better energy. And I hope he keeps that main girl in there, because that main girl is something I see a lot of dudes miss out on, is a main girl in their younger years. And I've entertained multiple girls at the same time, and I always know who my main pull is. I always know my main energy, and I've had some pretty hard fighters over the main, right? But a main is worth 1,000 bitches. I'll see you guys in my next video.